Hey guys, this is Andrew Darlington of Veritas Risk Management. We do all sorts of insurance, home, auto, business, life, pretty much anything that ends in insurance. But today what we're talking about is the workers' compensation exemption in Tennessee. I'm going to share my screen here and show you we'll kind of walk you through this. So here we go. Okay. This is the dangers of workers' compensation exemption forms in Tennessee. The way it's always worked up to this point in time is you have a general contractor, then you have a subcontractor, and then employees, or a general contractor has the employees. Or you have situations you have a general contractor and then a sub under him, and it goes down for forever. Or you even have guys that are trying to skirt the law right now, and there'll be a general contractor and then they'll call all their employees subcontractors, or actually have true subcontractors. And the way the law has worked up to this point is that if someone gets injured on a job, you've got workers' compensation to protect you. So in this situation, an employee gets injured, the claim stops with the subcontractor. General contractor doesn't have to worry about it because workers' comp's going to protect him, and he can move on from there. The same is true if the subcontractor doesn't have workers' comp. It does flow up to the general contractor. General contractor's workers' comp kicks in, and he's then protected. In this case where subcontractors are involved, same thing happens. General contractor, subcontractor's employee gets injured. One subcontractor doesn't have coverage. Buck stops at the subcontractor there. In the situation with all these, again, buck stops at the general contractor and everybody's happy. Again, the situation goes up to the general contractor. Now, workers' compensation, what it basically does, it prevents your employees from suing you, except in situations of gross negligence. So for the most part, if you have someone that gets injured at work, whether they shoot themselves with a nail gun, fall off a roof, whatever, they're going to collect workers' comp benefits, but they cannot sue you as an employer. So you're protected. Worst case, your experience mod's going to go up, your premium's going to go up, but your assets are safe. Workers' comp's basically, the employee's going to get his medical bills paid, and he's going to get paid for his lost wages, and in death claims, the estate or heirs are going to get a settlement. Because of that, the employers are protected from being sued by their employee if they're injured at work. So it's a this for that. Employees get this, employers get that. Now, your company assets are safe. Like I said, the most that can be paid is whatever's under the workers' comp law. Workers' comp company has to pay for it. So your company assets are safe. And most importantly, your personal assets are safe. Now, the game changed with the Tennessee exemption. Beforehand, like we talked about, what's happening is in these situations, everyone on the job is considered basically an employee of the general contractor. If he brings on subs to a job site, it's basically would be considered employees from a workers' comp standpoint. So he's responsible. He pays. That's what the courts have continued to say repeatedly throughout this. Now, again, the game changed with the exemption. What it did is this. And I want to go and show you the exemption form. I hope you can see this on my screen. Let's see, where's my form? Okay, so and here's the exemption form. They'll go here. Everybody knows that initial workers' compensation exemption registration. Here's where it is. This is the biggie. By checking this box, I test that I meet all the requirements for workers' compensation exemption under TCA 50-6-901. I understand false statements made on the application is subject to penalties of perjury. Okay, so what they're saying is I test that all these things come out. I don't have any employees and that type of thing. And it says, by checking this box, I understand waive my rights to sue under workers' compensation law if injured on a job and have utilized workers' compensation exemption on that job. So if your employee or, subcontractor signs this and you hold it, yeah, you don't have to pay workers' comp, but he can't sue you under workers' comp law. So what does that mean? That means that you're now under statutory coverage. Okay, and so that's what that lawsuit slide shows. Okay. That means that sub can now file a lawsuit. I'm sorry about that. Can now file a lawsuit against you. So you have a general contractor and a subcontractor. Subcontractor gets injured. He can sue the subcontractor who is controlling him on the job, and he can sue the general contractor. So a situation's this. A general contractor's got a job. He hires a subcontractor to do roofing work for him, we'll say, or electrical work. It doesn't matter, any of them. That guy, instead of having employees, he hires these subcontractors to come work. All these folks, the subcontractor and the subcontractors and everybody else, has the exemption. Well, one of the guys gets electrocuted on the job site, or one of the guys falls off of a roof or something like that. He now can't collect workers' comp benefits. So what does that do? It frees him up to sue. Okay, you got a general contractor in this situation. Any of his subs, if they get injured on a job, can sue him if he's using that exemption form in order to keep from having to pay workers' comp benefits. So what does that mean? Who knows? They're not capped, so they can sue you for $1 million. They can sue you for $2 million. They can sue you for $5 million. Heck, they can sue you for $10 million. There's no cap. Remember, on workers' comp, there's a cap. They can only collect what the state allows, and the workers' compensation policy is going to pay 100% of that. So you don't have to worry about it. Bottom line is, you're at the mercy of a judge and a jury. So if they deem you negligent on that job site, you're going to pay up. If they don't deem you negligent, hey, you're lucky. You got out of it, but you're still going to have attorney's costs that are going to kick in there. That's the problem with using these exemption forms, is that you've got the ability to get sued for who knows how much money, and it's only up to a judge and a jury whether you're going to win or not. So hope that answers your questions about this, and I hope you'll really, really, really take a hard look on whether you're going to allow anyone on your job site to be able to have an exemption form. If you need to get a hold of us, our website is www.veritasrm.com, as in veritasriskmanagement.com. Or you're welcome to call our office at 423-292-4142 and answer any questions that you have. We appreciate your time and look forward to more videos in the future.